Welcome, everyone. This is episode 1 of the
Hey, guys.
JD Unplugged. How's it going,
Yes.
everybody?
How's it going, guys? How's it going?
Hello.
Going. Oh,
So,
also
obviously,
too,
yeah.
we have Aidan on. This
Hi.
is Aidan.
I'm new.
Right. Well,
Hi, I'm
technically, we're
Aidan,
all
I'm
new
new.
since this is a new series.
True.
So, yeah. Which
I
one
might
of
not
us will
always be
stay? We'll find out at the end of the episode. By episode 2, we'll see who stays.
Guys, welcome to the podcast /stream /unplugged. We're going to be just chatting about, life and everything in between.
That's right.
So, first things first is I'm going to eat your brains.
That's right.
Then I'm going to... So, first things first is how are you guys?
Jane.
How are you guys doing?
Good. Well, so there's an elephant in the room, actually, that I think we should all address. And that's, we are all in radically different locations. One of us is in
Yeah.
a studio apartment, another person is hanging
In a
out
studio.
like in an official studio, and then the other person's a little farther away than what would normally be considered terrestrial
cowboy
space. I'm
space.
kind of floating off in the cosmos. Yeah, I got my safari hat
Somehow
on.
can breathe oxygen quite
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Well, there's plexiglass here, so
Oh, I see.
got
I see.
oxygen. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I won't tell you
So-
exactly where I am, but I'm out there.
So every episode we're going to be in a different,
In a different
Times.
location.
different location,
Yeah.
time zone, or dimension. Since Joe is there. Okay. Love it and love the cowboy hat too. Can't
Well,
go
thank you
wrong.
very much.
Can you explain the hat real quick, Joe?
Yeah. Can you
Well,
tell us
okay,
a little
so this just a fun little factoid for everybody out there. I have early onset male pattern baldness, and when I wake up in the morning, I don't look my best. Even though it's not the morning, it's the afternoon. You know how it is. It's Sunday, right? I just was
Space.
like, it's better if I put a hat on. So I start looking for baseball caps, but the only one I have available is my NASA one. And it's kind of like a fashion faux pas to be wearing like double merch, you know? So it's like I already got the NASA shirt, so I was like, I'll just put on the only other hat I have available, which is this big safari hat. So, yeah.
Okay, so
I got
you
the
don't
little
mind me
tassels.
asking, are you essentially saying that you're kind of insecure about your hair? Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying, essentially?
No. It's not about being insecure. It's just not camera ready, right? That's one way to look at it.
Oh,
I'm
right.
I'm
I
thinking
see.
about everyone else. Yeah.
Camera
I'm
ready.
helping them. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So on the days that I shower and put the hair wax in and all that stuff, I part
I
it
was gonna say because
properly.
we don't care. Like I am not judging.
Yeah, no. It's it is a daily battle whether or not I feel good about my hair, but that's like a first world problem. There are other issues that are bigger out there, so I feel like
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Just
you
throw
could,
a
you can
hat
have an
on,
issue like mine where you have too much hair. There's hair
Right.
everywhere in my house. This is like,
right, exactly.
you can make like blankets and stuff.
It's
With
funny
all
though
the hair
because
here.
you said you didn't have time to shower, but you've had time to put on a full face of makeup.
What? Yeah, that's right. This is all
So ruthless.
studio ready, baby.
These guys are
Hey.
savages. This podcast should be called the Savage Podcast.
That's right. Unplugged and savage. Unplugged
I'm
from
sitting here in
society
drag.
into the savage wilderness. Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of savage, I want to go into my first topic essentially. I'm also keeping an eye on the time. All right, so technically we kind of started at 12:30. It's 12:29 my time. It's probably 5:30 Aiden's time, I believe.
Correct.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
It's hard to keep up with space, dimensions, time zones, all that jazz. You guys already
That's
know.
right. I don't think.
Oh,
that
wait,
helps.
what time is it in
I'm 2
space,
million
Joe?
years in the future.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm
exactly.
reaching you guys because of the speed of light. So it's like I'm reaching you guys at your time now, but I'm actually 2 million years in the
It's
future.
like
so.
interstellar. Like you're behind the black hole, so technically. Yeah.
I'm interacting with different time because time works differently in space. So it's like, yeah, even though we're interacting with each other, if I were to go to Earth right now, I think I'd meet your great grandchildren.
That's
yeah.
right. Yep.
It's very confusing, but you just got to go with the flow.
the plot of
If you're in
Interstellar.
space,
Yep.
ride the wave. That's all
Love
you
it. Okay, so what I wanted to kind of chat about is something a little bit more serious, I guess. But it is the essential like situation that we're going through of a lockdown. So
Mhm.
it would be nice if we could all be in one room together. Like Joe and we used to do podcasts at
In one room?
here. We used to do them at this studio.
Yeah, exactly. If you aren't-
But now because of Corona, we're all basically told that we are to not have any contact with anyone really. Like I'm here by myself, so it says that I'm allowed to have one person over. But
Yes.
it's like, okay, but what about if that one person has been exposed to other people, right? So there's like a almost like a web or like a chain kind of thing, pyramid, whatever.
Well,
Does that
it's
make sense?
the 6 degrees of separation, but like the deadly version. The more
Okay,
degrees you have, the more dangerous it gets. Yeah.
Not
right.
quite Kevin Bacon.
So we're told
Right,
to
right.
quarantine. For instance, Aidan is in a second quarantine right now, right? We're
Yes,
in the
Right.
second
as of
lockdown
Kidding.
last week. Yeah,
this week.
we're a week into lockdown 2.0. They're calling it.
So
Dang, yeah.
2.0, where we, Joe, do you think that we might be going into a second one by chance here
Well,
in
so fun
TO,
fact,
Toronto?
yeah, that's right. So let's cover the bases first for the audience. So I am in the GTA. Darren, you're right outside of the GTA in the Hammer, as the people call it in Southern Ontario. And
So nasty, but love it.
yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, it's interesting because it's known for its downtown, which is very industrial, but it's so beautiful. The second you go, there's so much nature once you
I
go
like
out of
it.
downtown. But
It's
yeah,
dope.
so the entire GTA, so not just Toronto, but now the Halton region and Peel, they must have entered the red zone, which is like you're
Yeah,
basically in a lockdown, but not really. Where it's like they should be, but they're not. So the province of
Um,
Quebec, right
correct,
beside us, they have
correct.
entered the second lockdown, but Ontario is refusing by all means by doing things like entering a red zone, where it's basically a lockdown, but it's not. So it's like
Yeah,
no indoor dining, and it's like
yep,
4 degrees, and they're like, but you can still do outdoor patio. It's like nobody's gonna do that. So it's basically a lockdown, but they're not calling it one.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
and Aiden, you're in England, not the
yes,
UK.
Which section?
the northeast, I guess,
Okay.
geographically.
Right. Is that
The north,
above or below the wall?
below
The
the wall.
the ice wall. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. That's good. Yeah.
we're kind of we're in Winterfell, if that
Yeah. Yeah. That helps. That
to
helps.
gauge
Understand it
your
geographically. Yeah.
I'd be in Winterfell.
Yeah.
Um, so is your COVID system color coordinated? Is that how you said you're in the
Before it
red?
hits the lockdown, yeah. Yeah. They have a yellow, orange, and red.
Okay.
So obviously we're not green because it's not here, but yeah,
Yeah,
it was orange for a while and now it's red. So
it's red,
unfortunately, it's getting worse
but
and
only like
worse.
certain parts are red, but a lot of parts are red, basically.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Right
Yeah.
now. So going into this, I'm going to go a little screen share here. I like to keep up with, the news and all that jazz, which is sometimes
Yeah.
a little on the bad side.
Yeah,
Let
yeah.
me know.
Unfortunately, it can
Let
give
me.
you a bit of distress.
You guys should be able to see my screen now, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
All right,
yeah.
perfect. So this is just Dr. Tam. She comes on and basically you won't be able to hear anything because YouTube keeps it nice and thing. But basically, she's just going through what Joe is just basically saying that certain things are going into red zones and we have to basically go back into lockdown. But what I find
Yeah.
quite interesting about all of these things is if you go on quite a lot of the news videos relating to this, you'll see that the the number of dislikes is very high,
Yeah, that's
and
interesting.
and majority of the time the comments will be disabled,
No kidding.
right? So, and
World
when
War
you look,
Three. A lot of people are saying crazy stuff in there.
yeah, so when you look into it, you're thinking these people are all crazy, right? Or are they?
Yeah, scamdemic. Yeah, a lot of weird stuff I'm seeing there.
Yeah,
The Grinch who still wants to steal Christmas. Oh my gosh.
right? So you're looking at all these things, and but yet you're hearing about all these deaths, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
And
and
then
yet it doesn't register for a lot of
this
people.
is where, okay, so I think I might be one of these people where it's not registering for me because in a positive way, in a sense, because think of it
Right.
as I am someone who, I know I'm just going through these comments so quickly, but I'm someone who I abide by all of these rules. So, for instance, I'm here by myself and
Mhm.
I've been taking 100% precaution with the rules that they've been giving me,
Yeah.
right? Where it's pretty much a lockdown.
Hmm.
Now, the part I don't understand is when I do more research and I'm confused on how certain countries are numbers are lower and certain places where the numbers are rising, ours being one of them.
Yeah.
So the part I'm confused at is why are we told to be in lockdown? Like, so for instance, an example, she states that we aren't supposed to be seeing other relatives and family and things like this because we're not in the same household. Fair enough. But yet we have department stores and things like this opened.
Where tons of strangers are meeting.
Yeah, like lots of things that are just opened constantly. So this is the part where I'm confused now. Right?
Yeah.
So we're saying that the economy essentially it's going to essentially die if we don't continue opening things.
Yeah.
Right?
It's the risk of they say don't risk it by going to your family members whom you love on this holiday, but do risk going grocery shopping and grabbing beer and liquor and stuff like that because the economy needs to survive. It's a very interesting.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you, Joe, but it's not just beer, liquor, and groceries. It's everything's opened here. There's nothing that's closed here. Like nothing. Name one store that's closed. You can go to the sex store and get stuff if you want. Here, everything's opened.
Yeah. So I guess
it's random things. Like you can just get anything.
Oh wait. Okay, so I got it. Maybe it's obviously restaurants you can't dine in at all. That's part of the red zone.
You
can't. No, you can only do takeout.
No, here.
Oh well, maybe it hasn't hit Hamilton yet.
That's what I'm explaining.
No, it's a red zone rule.
In Toronto, no dining in. It's only takeout or dining in the patio.
Here, yesterday. I went to Pho to pick up some spring rolls.
Pho.
The restaurant was full.
Wow. Yeah, that doesn't seem helpful because I think.
So why is that allowed? Is what I don't understand. Why is it not only takeout, but then they're going to, like, for instance, a perfect example would be China. How is it that they can be in lockdown for a certain amount of time, longer, maybe I think a little bit longer than our lockdown?
Yeah.
And they're getting positive results. Numbers are diminishing.
Mm-hmm.
Cases are lowering.
That's a game of trust. But there are other countries that you can trust a bit more, like South Korea and different countries in Europe and stuff like that.
Correct.
And it's not to hate on China, but I don't entirely trust them. But
which is fine.
Like New Zealand's a perfect example.
Exactly. New Zealand. Let's talk about New
Zealand.
Gone. It's completely gone.
Yeah.
Why is this? Why is that?
Because of the comment section on that YouTube video, I think. A lot of people don't believe it. A lot of people are conspiracy thinkers and say that masks are anti-freedom and all that dumb stuff. I think it's a symptom of North America for whatever reason. It's full of people.
For instance, why is just it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why would they let this happen? That's what I don't get. Is why would they?
I don't get. It's like
if you're telling us, but if these people are coming on the air right now and telling us to wear masks and to not socialize with other people, then why are they allowing stores to be opened? And why are they allowing schools? Like I have two step siblings, where they're going off days, but the classes are full.
Yeah,
and then
that
school. Why does that make? Okay, so what I don't get is how us as people, that are the ones that are locked up, can say, it doesn't make any sense that we are not allowed to socialize with family, but yet we're allowed to send our kids into a full school with tons of other not children, adults, teenagers. Is this? Am I like? What is? I don't understand.
No. So that's
supposed to think.
That's
Meanwhile, I'm the person that's wearing my mask every day. If I have to go out, I'm going out as minimal as I can. Like yesterday, it was the weekend for me, so I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I would just love to have some takeout and not cook every day. I'm exhausted from cooking every single day. Like I'm exhausted. I'm by myself. I'm trying the best I can, and then I go to take out because they're telling me on the news that to not eat in places, and I'm going in the store and the store's full.
Mm-hmm. Don't get FOMO from those people because they're most likely going to contract COVID.
But this is what I don't understand is why would they allow that and then now tell us to go into a second lockdown? Why didn't we just stay in lockdown from the jump?
From the beginning, yeah.
If you're coming on the air and telling us people are dying,
mm-hmm.
and I understand, yes, the economy is losing, but we're going into another lockdown again, though.
Yeah, short-term thinking.
So I'm confused.
Yeah. Well, and so this is the only point that I can make sense of with the whole businesses being open but then not going to your family and then this doesn't make sense in Hamilton, but in Toronto, there's no dining in Toronto, and so the only reasoning I can think of is it's a short amount of time. You're in and out of a Shoppers Drug Mart or a grocery store inside of an hour. If you're dining, that's not the case because you can hang out there for hours, and so that doesn't seem right to me. But businesses being open where you're just in and out is a lot the risk is a lot lower than spending like an entire 5-hour evening over at your grandparents, right?
But
So the amount of time inside of a ventilated enclosed space, I think
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah,
biggest
that
risk
makes
is
sense.
the amount of time.
the amount of time, but yet they
Yeah.
have very big department stores open, like for example, Walmart, where that's not a store you go in and you're in for 5 minutes. Depending on, like me, for instance, I try to
Yeah.
avoid that situation. I want to
Mm.
go to something smaller. I don't know if that's wrong or not of me to think, but I'm thinking the bigger the store, I don't want to go there because it's a higher risk because it has more people in there that are in
Yeah.
there longer. Like I go in there
Mhm.
just sometimes to get something that a grocery store specifically didn't have.
Mhm.
Right? So I go there and then I'm seeing people with their carts full of tons of items. That didn't
Mhm.
take 10, 15 minutes.
No.
Oh,
That
and
didn't take no
also,
5 minutes.
yeah, you'll see employees with the mask down, so their nose is exposed, and they're just talking to each other. And then
Why is
like
any of this
a thing comes on the PA saying, "Customers, make sure to cover the mask entirely over your mouth and nose." And then you're seeing employees
I
with the
do
nose
not
down. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, come on, Walmart of all places.
it
Yeah,
infuriates me. It
yeah,
infuriates
no,
me.
it
And
pisses
I
me off
also,
too. It's
if you
so
notice
stupid.
too, like if you ever go into like any drive-throughs or anything, like I'm a coffee person. So I treat
Yeah.
myself to coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Drive-through, I don't go inside just to drive-through, and every time I'm in the drive-through, I always wear my mask. But look, the next time you go into a drive-through, nobody's wearing masks ever in their car, ever seen anybody put a mask on and see in that rearview mirror their mask on, and then they're tapping or paying.
Yeah, yeah.
I've gotten into, like, it makes me not even want to go to the grocery store because the last time I went to the grocery store, I got into a huge altercation, which it wasn't altercation with the person, but with myself, because I was just infuriated on how the fact of nobody really gives a crap
Yeah,
about this virus,
yeah.
but the people that are constantly like, there's so many different sides to it. It's like they're telling us one thing, but then there's letting so many things get away. So an example is I went into the store, I read an article where it says try to use Apple Pay and Google Pay. This is why I think I got so upset personally, because I had read this article just prior, and I go in and I've been using Apple Pay for years now. Like I have it on my watch. I've been using it for years now. So it's nothing new to me where it's like, okay, perfect. It just makes it seem now more acceptable, more easy. People aren't asking me about it anymore. Things like that.
Mhm.
I go into the grocery store to literally pick up just the groceries that I need for the maybe 4 or 5 days. And the lady that in front of me uses the machine, touches the machine. The cashier doesn't wipe the machine, yet we have all these screens around and all that. I'm supposed to be social distancing, which I'm too
Mhm.
far behind, but yet the person behind me is right up my asshole
Oh,
watching.
yeah, I hate that
Even
so
though the
much.
sticker
Yeah,
says they're in between this. It's
yeah, like
ridiculous.
it
So I'm
shows
not going to turn
spots.
around and say, "Oh, can you back up?" I'm just going to
You got a
hold
donkey
my
kick him.
breath. I
You
literally
get
will
too
hold
close,
my
you just
breath,
bam. Yeah.
start lower my ventilation, lower my breath. Everything is in low mode now. Okay, you
Just
too
doing
close.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in low mode.
Yeah.
Whatever. So I go, and then she tells me the total or whatever. I go to tap my car thing. It doesn't work. And this
Yeah.
happens
Goes just
quite
yeah.
often, actually. It happens quite
Yeah.
often where you'll have to give it a second try.
Mhm.
Now, I've been a cashier. Worked in a grocery store. That was my first job. I worked in restaurants where there's machines, yada, yada, yada. So I'm one to say that when it doesn't work, the cashier will just reset it. And it happens all the time. All the time where you'll hit it one time. Oh, sorry, reset it, and then do it again. It'll work. So I
Yeah.
tell her, "Doop, it doesn't work." She goes, "Oh, you got to put your card in."
You're
I
gonna be
go,
like, I
"No,
don't
I
want
don't.
to.
I don't
Yeah.
have to put my card in." And on top of this, my card has the tap option. So
Mhm.
even if I were to pull my card out, I now want to use the tap option. I don't want to stick my card in or swipe it so that now I have to hit checkings or savings, put in my 4-digit PIN that you didn't just swipe, you didn't just touch this, you didn't clean the old lady that just was there, you didn't clean her thing.
Yeah, she was spitting on it, licking it.
I'm sitting and watching. She didn't clean it.
Yeah.
She's telling me that I have to put my stuff in. I'm gonna be respectful and say, you know what? She's elderly. She's working. She's working at the first register. I'm just gonna be respectful because I've had altercations before. I've been in that situation,
Mhm.
but I don't think it's fair that I have to now touch this dirty ass machine. I did it. I did it. I didn't say a word. I went, and as soon as I went around, I just went and sanitized my hands, and I went about
Mhm.
my way. But I
Yeah.
was absolutely furious because the girl behind me just went boop, and then she went right back.
Yeah.
And that infuriated me. Like, it just infuriated me, where now I'm coming home and I'm doing more research and I'm looking into it and I'm saying, but why are all these people, why does this, I would look at this news article and say, yep, that makes sense. We got to stay in because people are dying and yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
But then why is the shoe store down the street open? It's too late. Like, why is that the shoe store down the street open?
Yeah.
And the parking lot's full.
It's a pandemic.
But people are dying. It's a pandemic. And then yet my little brother and sister have to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
The school thing is insane. I feel like that's actually wrong.
I'm confused.
That's an Ontario
So
specific
I'm gonna
thing.
read this. I'm gonna see this article and give it a thumbs down. Does that make me now crazy?
It depends what you type.
Yeah, if you're typing COVID isn't real. Yeah.
Because people are dying.
Yeah.
If you type in it's a hoax in all caps,
I know one of my really good friends, his parents are in the hospital. They just came out with COVID. They're in the hospital and now they're like, they have to be monitored. I respect it 100%. But do these people above respect it? Because everybody's dying and nobody cares. And everyone's saying, well, the economy needs this, Darren, and we need to have money and da-da-da. But it's like, so if everybody's dead, then what is economy is there? They're the only ones that will be able to survive, clearly.
And to feed the economy, you need humans. So
Yeah,
it's extremely unfortunate that they have to juggle.
Can I get your views right now? I'm ready to hear them.
Well, they're juggling the practical ideology of capitalism with the fact of the matter that this is a super spreader virus that preys on the very thing that makes us human, being social. So it's very fucked up. It's very evil. And then the people in charge seem to be reactionary rather than proactive, and that's bad on them. So I think a thumbs down is good, but also putting in the comments, this shit's real and you gotta do a better job. You know, like
they're gonna start some fights in the comments.
There's certain comments where it's like these, you have to be very careful what you're reading, and this is where I'm saying my social media and news is kind of, it's hard sometimes because people are very easy to soak up things, but I'm not the one to soak that up. I'm one to literally ask questions and wonder why. I'm obeying by what they're telling me. But why am I obeying? Like, of course, I'm still going to obey because I'm hearing people are dying. I respect that 100%. You don't have to tell me anymore. I don't care about the money, the economy. What? People are dying. Like, what? Everybody should everything should be done, separated, done. There's no banks. There's no nothing. Everything goes on hold for how many ever months. You don't have any house payments. Don't care. Their water comes through. It doesn't matter. Does not matter. Cut everything dry. People are dying until it stops.
Yeah.
Done. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But it's because it's money. They need money. They want money to do this. They want money to. They're gonna shut down England for what? Till December. Why the hell are they shutting down till December? So that then now everyone's going to go on a tirade for Christmas. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
To me.
They shut this down until December 2nd, and then they're gonna say, "Oh, look, all the malls are open for Christmas.
Time to shop, baby."
Yeah. And then in January they'll say, "Oh, you were all very bad. I can't believe you all went shopping."
Get down in
shut you down again,
exactly.
and they'll lock us down again in January.
Yeah.
That's
nuts.
But like you said, Joe, it's reactionary, and that's a good term to use because it is. Because I think the countries like New Zealand, they took action from the get-go. They're March,
about the people.
They went, we're shutting down everything. No one's coming into the country. No one's leaving the country. Shut down.
Because we care about the people in the country.
And it worked, yeah. And that's probably what they did in, I think it was in Taiwan and maybe Japan as well. They just like complete lockdown, and now they're all back to normal.
Yes. So it's frustrating for somebody that's like, I'm by myself. I don't have any socialization. Besides, like here now, I'm talking to you guys all over a thing. I don't have any socialization. So imagine that with somebody that is now being told, okay, you got to go into lockdown again, maybe. So go out to the grocery store, again, accumulate a certain amount of things because you're going to not be able to go out again, which is fine. Like, but why the numbers are spiking? Because you guys open the schools back up, because you guys open bars back up, because you open the department stores back up. If anything should have been open, it should only have been grocery stores only. Yeah. Only.
Yeah, like back in March. Was it March where it was just like you can only go to a grocery store?
It should have been from there to now. Yeah. To now almost till maybe the end of the year.
It wouldn't have taken to now if they if they were able to isolate, then it would disappear like in New Zealand and all the other countries. Because
it shows that they did it in a certain amount. So that's the part where now I'm like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Stay inside your houses, but go crowd out at Walmart.
Yeah, go crazy.
Cool.
Go fight outside McDonald's,
Yeah.
Like, go nuts.
Or
People
even
in the
like
stores don't care.
even having like 10 friends over.
Right, yeah.
It's like, well,
yeah, I saw the picture on Instagram.
You don't know where those friends have. If all those 10 friends have all been at their
To 10
places of work.
That's
Yeah,
100,
exactly.
yeah.
And, yeah. But the schools are the biggest because then you've got a kid in a class with 25 other kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then
in a household, every kid belongs to a household.
Mm-hmm.
There's a web. Remember I mentioned about the web. That's the big thing. The chain reaction is like with kids we're reading in the news that kids are essentially like they're like I don't know how to. They're like
just the super spreaders.
Yeah, exactly.
They sneeze on everything. They're gross.
They're super spreaders in general, but yet they're somewhat immune to the virus, where they don't get symptoms. They won't know. So technically, they're carriers. So they're carriers, but yet
they're pigeons.
Prior to the virus, we know them as nasty germ suckers. Like any kid, I know them as snotty nose drippers.
Yeah.
Anything below 6, I'm like, you're a snotty little nose dripper. So why now am I letting your snotty ass into a school where
and that's just elementary school kids.
This covered up.
Yeah.
Like and we all know how gross high school kids are too.
The economy just won't be able to survive another lockdown. Okay, so then why didn't we just stay in the first one?
The first one. Yeah. Why didn't we wait until we were cleared?
Yeah.
Well, and I'll say this.
That's my
in somewhere like America, it might just be too difficult to do because of the absolute size of the country. But Canada is a fraction of the size. It's like a tenth the size. It's the same as New Zealand. We have a small population. We could have done it. Yeah. So the fact that we didn't is because we're basically following on the foothills of America, I feel like. So we're being very pro-capitalist and just like being super, whatever the French term would be, laissez-faire about it. Or that's probably the wrong phrase. But, we're being very bourgeois about it.
Honestly,
whatever. And
I love it. I just I'm so fascinated because I had spent before Aidan went back to England, we watched like 8 hours of the Hunger Games because each movie's 2, 4, 6. Is there 4 of them? There's 4 of them.
There's a trilogy, and they did a double movie for the last
double
one.
At the end. So there's 4 of them. Each one is 2 hours minimum. Add an extra 20 minutes onto each of those because they're an hour. They're 2 hours and a half.
7 hours, 8 hours.
So that's 8 hours that I'll never get back, and I never understood the point of the movie until now. I'm that girl. I'm that girl with the braid. I'm the girl with the braid. I want to know answers. I want answers, and I have a crossbow, and I want to know why do you people think it's okay to say people are dying, but yet open up everything? Shut this shit down. I don't have time for that. It's either it's money or death.
Yeah.
Don't tell me death
Elizabeth
is rising.
Banks.
Yeah.
And whoever else was in that movie.
No, was she in that movie?
Donald Sutherland.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Those are the people in the first nation or first land or whatever the heck it's called. No, District 1, that's it. Yeah.
I don't even know.
And they're like eating so much that they need to take puke pills so they can keep eating. It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, that movie's kind of weird.
And it's boring.
The last 2 shouldn't have been stretched out. It should have been one movie, that's for sure. I really like the second movie. I can say that much.
Well, I thought that
enjoyed
too. And then in the rewatch, like you forget how much they spend on a train at the beginning.
Right. Okay.
They're going on like a tour, right? Because they won the previous movie, so they're going on a tour between all the cities. And it's probably like 40 minutes of the movies on this train.
Oh my god! Wow.
And then finally,
bore
like
you
the
so
last
much
half hour, it's that
you're like excited for the end because something's
finally, it's the game.
Nice.
It's so bad. It's like I couldn't believe how. I guess it's just more of like one of those teeny box, like those.
Yeah.
I
very much enjoyed this tangent. Yeah, Hunger Games is the culmination of. Well, it wasn't even the last one, but the culmination of like the Twilight craze of taking female teenage characters, like the sci-fi YA novels, and like bolstering the shit out of it because it had an amazing production. Like, it clearly cost millions and millions and millions of dollars to make those movies because you can tell it's really clean. Everything's really well produced.
It's really
the story
there's so much to work with.
Yeah.
But yet,
maybe
it's just
too
the
much
first
to
version
work
of
with.
Demolition Man.
I remember telling you about how I wanted to like rewrite it. We were talking about rewriting it, and I had my own version because the reason why I think I I didn't like the movie so much was because the movie's called The Hunger Games, and I thought the movie was gonna kind of essentially be somewhat like Slumdog Millionaire, where like she's in the Hunger Games, and then she's constantly, no matter throughout the whole movie, she's in the Hunger Games. But they're doing like a flashback of like how she got there, like she's actually there to protect her sister, and it's like, oh, this is like I would.
That is a better
boring.
premise. I like
Yeah.
that.
It's fucking boring.
Yeah.
But instead, it's 2 movies about the Hunger Games, and then 2 movies about like social constructs and like rebelling against president.
A very black and white, just evil government, and you have to just, like, and that's it. Yeah, it's not complicated with employees that are part of the society. No, it's just like they're the evil ones in District 1. Yeah, kill them all.
Yeah, kill them all. We're a bunch of kids, and we're gonna kill everyone.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. So yeah, that's also a fascinating thing that in all of the YA novels and like movies and TVs and stuff, teenagers are always these like they have like adult jobs and they're just part of society and stuff. It's very strange. Like the TV show Riverdale, which I've not watched. I love the Archie comics, but they made it into this thing where like every teenage character is essentially like has an adult job. There's like a police officer who's like 16. Very strange. I don't know what the heck's going on in that show.
There's always someone who can fix a car. He's just always working
exactly.
on his car.
It's like, what, you guys are literally supposed to be children, but you're like 30-year-old actors. It's very strange. It gives you a warm viewpoint of the world.
I hate when the actors like.
Yeah. So, I feel like they did a good job with Spider-Man recasting all of those people for the new Marvel version. They were the only ones that actually look like teenagers. Yeah. But yeah, that's not a trope that's disappeared. It's still
going
movies
into guys. Speaking of that, Joe, going into my next topic, into a brighter topic, it's the release of the PS5.
Oh, yeah. What a great segue. What a great segue.
That's a gorgeous segue. That is so good. Yeah.
Now, this has come out on PS5, guys. The graphics, I watched some of the graphics. You might not be able to see it in full render on your screen because it's right now I'm playing it in 1080.
No, it'll help us with copyrights.
But okay, perfect.
Yeah, a terrible
so
frame rate's good.
The gameplay on this, guys, is insane. Like, look at this. Look at this. He goes through.
No loading or anything.
It's awesome. Wow. It's so smooth. It's so clean. Like, it's basically they came out with the Spider-Man game prior, 2018, I believe, and it was it's basically the Spider-Man that we know.
Yeah.
They carry the story on here with Miles, though, and they also feature the old Spider-Man, which is like the Tobey Maguire / like Tom Holland.
Mm-hmm.
And he's part of the story as well. So actually, he's on the back of Rhino right now, and Miles is trying to help him get there to like take Rhino down.
I can see his little name tag thing there.
Yeah,
right. So Peter Parker's there, and he's
Peter Parker's. Yeah, it's quite interesting. So I would really recommend if you guys, because I know, Joe, you were mentioning about an Xbox.
Unfortunately, I'm a Microsoft boy. Yeah.
Me too.
The game is unreal, though. I mean, I think it comes out on it'll be on Xbox as well.
Yeah, if it's gonna come out on Steam or just PC or Windows anything, then it'll be on the Xbox because it's all like the same library. So yeah.
But this is the PS5 version, and it is incredible, guys. I just cannot believe the gameplay. It's like he's in a mall right now. It's insane. It's just like
the one thing that blows my mind is that there's no loading for new games.
It's so
everything
clean.
just seamlessly. Yeah, like
this
it is the
is
future
from
of gaming.
the Brad Rat, but it is insane. Look at this. He's saving a
straight
baby
into a cutscene.
Yeah,
it's
and
insane.
Back in the gameplay again.
So well done.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Such a great. So that's my segment for today, guys. I know I got a little heated in here.
No, hey, that's good.
You already know I ain't got time.
How do you feel about the remaster where they changed how?
Oh, Peter Parker's face.
Looked? Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I
never
really
played the original. So,
he looks really good. Here, I'll show you a little clip here of what he looks like. He kind of honestly looks more like not Tobey Maguire. He looks more.
Well, he looks more like Tom Holland. That was kind of the
reason why they did it.
Like,
it is interesting. They're blurring the line of the movies and the games and all.
Yeah. I also like that it's set in wintertime. That's really kind of refreshing.
It's cool too. Like, Aidan, look at this. Aidan, look at this opening. I don't know if it's gonna show up here because with the ads, guys, I don't have the.
Right.
The opening, I think, is so cool. So, like, what it does is. Like, it starts with it in like game mode, but from
Mhm.
here
Oh,
you're
no
already
kidding, yeah.
in the game right now. You're in the game now. So when you
Oh.
start, already it's the game.
Oh.
Yeah.
So like
So
you
the
know how you
start
were mentioning
menu
about
is.
loading?
Yeah. How normally there would be an
You
Wow.
start the
entrance
game.
thing. Yeah.
How cool is that? Look, he's in the game already. It's like, oh, I'm in the game. I have control. Cool,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
loading. It's just like the game just starts. The graphics are insane. Like it's
Uh-huh.
unreal. He looks
That is
great.
actually so cool.
You can see all of his like, hair molecules and all that jazz.
Yeah. The slowly, the graphics that are slowly getting better, where they keep adding hair pixels, and eventually they get to a point where it's as many as we normally have. Really.
Yeah.
I would definitely recommend you guys check it out for sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, absolutely. This is almost like the flagship game of the PlayStation 5,
This is
right?
Yeah.
I want to give credit to the
This is the Halo with PlayStation.
Brad. That's where I got the hits are here. This is where I got the
Yes.
footage from. Just want to keep that in there.
Yo,
that
shout out.
see
Yeah.
that. And yeah, so that's it for my topic there, guys. I definitely recommend you guys check out what Spider-Man actually looks like. The Peter Parker actually looks like, because this is Miles. But and what's cool about Miles's costume is it starts off with the costume that he has in the movie Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
So puffy jacket, sneakers, all that jazz.
Oh, yeah.
But it continuously updates. Like Peter Parker keeps giving him like presents.
Mhm.
Where
Oh,
he
nice. So
gets a
throughout the
suit.
story, you
It's like a
level
basic
up.
suit, and he just has his like Adidas sneakers on.
Yeah.
But then as he gets better and better, he gets better parts of his suit, and
Yeah.
his suit gets better and better. It's really, really well done, and I'm really enjoying watching it because it has such clean, smooth graphics where it's almost like you're watching a movie, kind of.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
love it. I
Really
love it so much. Yeah. I feel like the first time I ever felt that whole next gen where there's like no loading screens and that kind of thing and like a progression is with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. That's an older callback because that came out a while ago, like 2016 or 17, but you would open a door and then just be in that house. I just remember that being so
Just like,
weird, like
yeah,
that
it's like wow,
sensation.
so
Yeah.
advanced.
Being like,
So
yo, Ocarina of Time, like all the way to Twilight Princess, you open the door, it goes black, there's a little circle, and then you're in the place. And yeah, so the fact that games aren't doing that now is like,
Did you ever play like Skyrim or Fallout?
I kind of wish I did, but at the same time, I can't seem to get into that genre of open world. Like Breath of the Wild is
Right.
the only open world game that I've played, and that's because of the IP. I was like, I'll do
Yeah.
anything for you, Link, you know? Yeah.
Well,
That's
Skyrim
funny,
Skyrim
Nick.
is like notorious for these like painfully long loading screens every
Oh,
time you
man.
walk through
Yeah.
a building or into a new area. It's like it's enough time where you can consider putting your controller down for a second. Okay.
Right, have a bathroom break or go grab a drink or something.
Just
Yeah.
loading.
Oh, man.
Just to
It's
go
always
into
a lot
houses
of
and
loading.
yeah.
I just remember like all games were just always so much loading, and then
Yeah.
like kind of like I remember just like I don't know, just like I was watching what was it, Metal Gear Solid the other day.
Okay, yeah.
That has a like there's one scene where he's talking to like an official like higher up than him somewhere.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know how there's always somebody they're telling him what to do.
They're doing
So he's
Zoom
like,
calls constantly in the
Yeah.
games, right?
So he has this like walkie-talkie that like shows the guy's face, but
Oh,
it's
nice.
in like a kind of like a yellowy like graphic. Do you guys know what I mean? It's kind of like in a sonar graphic. It looks like sonar.
Yeah.
So you can't. It's like, but what's so interesting is it goes into game. It's in gameplay. He's crouched down behind like just like a little box,
Mhm.
and then he beeps in. Screen goes black for like literally maybe like 20 seconds. And then it
Oh, boy.
pops
Yeah.
up, just two little faces, and now they're talking.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
they're
that's
having a
rough.
conversation.
That was
And
not
like
worth the loading.
you're seeing like the mouth, like the
Just going.
Snake's face though. He's like
Yeah.
talking, and then his face, it's just the mouth moving only.
Yeah.
It's just like, and I'm watching this, remembering it being like, this is so scary, but like I don't remember it being this cheap and this long. Like it just it
Yeah.
seems so much more intense in my head. I'm like,
Yeah, it's weird
Yeah.
how our memories change how graphics were perceived. Because if you think
Yeah.
back to like Halo 1, in my head,
Yeah.
Halo 1's graphics still look as good as it does now in like
Yeah,
Halo 4 or
literally.
5.
Yeah.
But you go back and play
They're
it, and it's
blocks.
like it's blocks, and it,
you're playing
Yeah.
Minecraft.
It's
playing
Roblox.
Minecraft.
Yeah, you're literally playing Minecraft. Yeah.
yeah.
Insane.
But in our
Like
heads,
Tomb
it's
Raider?
like, wow, it's still next gen.
Yeah. I remember a very old movie that was basically a ripoff of Godzilla, and I forget what it was called, but I had it on VHS and it was for a movie from like 1994 or something, and it was an American movie. It wasn't like, so it was very strange, and I remember watching that and being like, this is better than Godzilla. And like referencing like the Godzilla from like the 1950s and 60s and stuff of the movies that I'd seen back when I was a kid. And I was like, this is amazing. I watched it like 100 times. And then when I was like 16 or 17, I'm doing whatever, like cleaning up an area or cleaning out a desk. And then I find this VHS of this old movie. And I'm like, oh my God, I remember this movie. That's so weird. It's like, I should watch it now. And so like my house still at that time had one of those like VHS DVD combo
Oh yeah,
devices
yeah.
because those were all the rage back when like the
Those were
conversion started
it.
happening.
Those were it.
Those were those were
Those
solid
are
for
almost
good
as cool
memories.
as like having a like I remember like when my parents we got like like a stereo system like in our like living room where it
Mm.
had
Yeah,
a
oh yeah,
five
the
disc
first time.
changer. I was like,
Oh, that's dope. Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never and you're like just changing the disc. It's like it's like so like weird. It's such a weird thing and like this is so
How does
cool
it
though
even
to me.
work? It just
There's like
seems like yeah.
5 discs in there. You can put 5 discs in there. I was
And
like,
did it have like, was it one of those systems that had everything in it though? So it'd have a cassette player and a record player and a CD
it
ROM.
wasn't one of those
It
ones.
was like all in
separate.
one.
It was separate.
Yeah.
So it was like that's why
Right.
it was kind of cool because it was just a separate like it has only the disc. Like we have the one that like had a DVD player and then underneath it had the cassette player. But you can only
Nice.
put one DVD player or you can put only one thing in there and it played music. But now we have a separate one that we can put on like on top of like it's almost like it was like a record player, but it wasn't a record player. It was just
or a
DVD,
CD
like a CDs.
changer. Yeah.
It was so
Yeah. Oh
weird.
yeah. Something you would see at a bar where it's like it has all of those records lined up and you hit
Yeah.
whatever thing you want and
Like
then
a
it brings it out and
jukebox.
plays it. Yeah.
Because we had, and then we
Um,
had like the huge disc thing where like all the discs were just like in like those like bars.
Yeah.
Like
Like
in
they're
those
all
like
lined
metal
up at those
bars.
slots. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, back when my family had the soccer mom van, which most families have if there's more
I
than
had
like
one.
4 or 5 kids. Yeah. We
Yeah.
had that, and it had a cassette player, so it was pre-CD players in vans and vehicles alike. But we bought this device that had a wire coming out of a blank cassette, and you could
Yeah.
insert it into the cassette player,
Hmm.
and then it
Does
was
it
an
still
auxiliary port.
exist?
And you could plug it into your iPod or your
Who's
MP3
everybody
player.
still has those. People
I
still
had
have
one in my
those.
Buick.
No, but a cassette player with the wire coming out of it.
Yes,
Like,
boo. People still have those.
Yeah.
what? Oh my God.
That is
I just remember that
2020 and
being the
people
most
still rocking
revolutionary
those.
thing in the world.
You
The
could
current
probably
car I
run. You could
have
run to the
is a
car
CD
and grab
player,
it.
but
Like it's in the car
Yeah.
People
still.
are literally still using those, Joe. People still.
Well, that's just very ingenious. Well, that's like
It
people
is. It is mind
watching
blowing though,
VHSs
because
now. It's like
how
it's
can
just
it
archaic.
convert like a digital a song on a phone
Into a
into a
an
yeah, it
analog
is
Into a
thing.
mind
cassette
It's
blowing.
player.
impossible.
I
I
don't
don't
know how it
understand it.
works.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
don't know
what's
how it
playing
works.
it off of? Is it playing
Yeah.
off of that tape that you pull out in there as
I don't
babies? You know
know.
how you
I
pull
don't
that tape
know.
out when you're a
I
kid?
don't know. Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like
also, this is another
what's it playing
tangent,
on?
but speaking of tapes, at the end of the era of VHS going on to DVD, The Lord of the Rings 3 had come out. It came out in 2003, and that was like right at the end when they were stopped, when they weren't making VHSs anymore, but they made one for that movie. And I remember going to Rogers Video to rent the movie once it had come out, and you had to buy 2 VHSs because the
Rogers.
movie was like 3.5 hours or something insane.
Wow.
It was so long that they couldn't fit it on one VHS. I just remember that being a very strange experience where I was like, I
So
bought
funny, dude.
a movie that was 2 VHSs long,
Wow.
where you
So
had to
you
like
could have
put it
like
in.
a little interval in between. You could be like, okay,
Yeah,
tape one's done. Let's go toilet and grab some food and
yeah,
come
it's an
back.
intermission, like back in the old times in
Intermission.
the
That
1950s, when
is
yeah, movies would have that.
unreal. And at
Yeah,
Rogers Video, wow,
yeah,
that is
that's
like
right.
Was that
wow.
like Blockbuster? Was that like you'll have to?
It's just like
That's the Canadian Blockbuster, basically. Yeah,
it's like
we
the
still have
service
Blockbuster,
provider.
but those were the two giants,
Right.
Rogers and
Yeah,
Blockbuster.
it
Yeah.
was like, ooh, I'm a
Or
service provider.
what? Can I ask you, Aidan? Did England have Blockbuster, or did they have alternatives to it?
No, we had Blockbuster,
Yeah.
but I remember in my village, because it's a quite small little village, there was an independent like
Yeah. Okay. So you had a mom and
video
pop shop.
rental guy, yeah, and it
Yeah.
was just like it was a very small, tiny little store, like probably
Mhm.
like the size of a living room. Like it wasn't very big, and
Yeah.
it was just the four walls were just covered in VHS tapes, and
Nice.
you would
Yeah.
just go in and you would just kind of stare at them for ages,
Yeah.
but I was trying to
crazy
think
how that used
what
to
we
be like,
often
though.
rented. There was one movie where we rented it quite often. 'Cause I think it was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves with Kevin
Okay.
Costner. That was like
Oh
one of my
yeah, yeah.
favorites. That was one
That
of my
one's good
favorites
though.
to rent.
That's a good one.
We rent
Well,
that a lot.
I'll tell you this. I don't know if it stands the test of time. It might be a nostalgia thing because I think I watched that for the first time when I was like 22 or 23, so just like a few years ago. And yeah, it was interesting to me. I don't know if it was the best thing I've ever seen. I think Robin Hood Men in Tights is probably the best Robin
Oh
Hood
yeah,
story.
that's a good one.
With Dave Chappelle and just it's such a good movie. I love it.
Wow, ruthless guys.
Yeah,
But
what happened to parody movies? Yeah, they kind of.
I
We were
know,
talking
man,
about
they could
Scary
be
Movie the other
Parody
day and
movies are
how
amazing. I
good
watched
those
them.
were.
Yeah,
I watched them during Halloween. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Kinda
yeah.
died out.
Who wants to go into their next topic?
Oh boy. Okay, well, I'd like to
Joe, weren't you talking something about?
yeah, so I want to talk about something that might seem boring like straight off the bat, but I swear there's enough to talk about where it's interesting, and that's traffic. So
I just
wait,
signed
okay,
up the call.
yeah, exactly. Oh
All
no,
you hear is
it's
calls
over.
ended.
Yeah.
Boop, boop. Done.
But okay,
Bro.
so first I want to start with some fun facts. Did you guys know that the world's worst traffic on record, there could be worse places, but on record, the world's worst traffic or commuting times or whatever, right? Number
Yes,
one
makes
is
sense.
LA. That makes sense.
That makes
Of course,
sense,
LA
yeah.
would have the worst traffic in
We're
the
like
world.
number 3, just saying.
Yeah, that's where I was going with this. Toronto is number 3. Number 2 is like Texas or something, and then
Really?
like, oh my God, yeah. So it seems like it shouldn't be that way, but it's because their system is so bad. And like I've watched like videos explaining how road systems work and the best way to make them. And the best way to make them is a diamond formation, where it's like whether you're getting off or going straight, the diamond formation is the best way. And there's a lot of roads that use very strange formations in Toronto. There's a lot of winding, weird, loopy-whoopy stuff going all over it. It looks like a big bow, and those ones do not work as well, and that's why there's a lot
Do
of
you mind if
clogged.
I mention something? Okay.
Yeah,
You remember?
or I
Okay,
don't
so
mind.
do you know how I mentioned to you like how I like to like ask a lot of questions? Well, that
Yeah.
was one question that I asked,
Mm.
and it you may agree or disagree, but I think that it's ultimately we know how, like you mentioned, diamond form would be efficient and be.
Yeah.
But I think that they know that it takes a certain amount of time to get to and from a neighborhood to a city, and where majority of the workplaces are, so that you can sit in traffic for a certain amount of time, so that when you get home you don't really have enough time to do things for yourself, so therefore you're kind of always stuck into like this like
It's a
I'm
conspiracy.
working traffic.
Yeah. It's the system trying to keep us down intentionally.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Maybe,
Because
maybe.
Get
why
your
is it-
bow and arrow. Get your bow and arrow again.
I
God
told
damn it!
you.
Yeah, let's do a Robin Hood. Let's take him out.
Continue again though, Joe. Go ahead.
Coming from the board. No, but okay. Well, no. So I will say this. I think it's not so much a conspiracy, but just like a well-known fact that construction workers will intentionally take a long time and intentionally do a bad job, so they have to come back and redo it so that they can keep working. That way, it never ends. It's the same thing as the war machine. America will keep finding conflict overseas so that they can keep putting money into the military and so they can keep the business going. Right? Whether it's stealing oil from Iran or whatever the hell they're doing, right? It's like they'll intentionally create conflict. That way they can keep the business of the military going. And for here in Canada, I think it's construction, or probably also in America, but in Canada specifically, I think construction is this thing where it's like an open secret, where it's like, oh, it's not a conspiracy theory. We'll just fucking do it in front of your face and tell you. So it's not a conspiracy. It's like we will intentionally fuck the road up, take a long time doing it, and then do it wrong so we can come back and do it a year later. And just that way we'll make sure there's always at least one lane open, but 3 lanes will converge into this one lane, so there will always be traffic, and you will always.
And we'll only put the sign that says like lanes merge ahead. We'll put it
right
way too soon. Like it's not. It's never like.
Yeah, they'll let you know
Joe,
before.
Get this.
Yeah.
I have something to mention. What my aunt is from. She lives in the U.S. She's from, I think, Florida or something like this. She lives in Florida or something like this. So when she comes to Canada here, she drives because she has U.S. plates.
She drives the whole way. Yeah.
And no, she doesn't drive the whole way, but she has a car here that has U.S. plates.
Okay.
So that if she ever did need to drive it, she could. So there was one thing that we were at a family thing, and she had mentioned this. And my aunt is, not gonna lie, is very well off. Like her husband is, he's a pilot for Air Canada. He passed away, but she's very well off. And I just, I'm mentioning this because it'll matter later in the story. But she had taken we have this option here to take the 407. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, yeah, that's the one you pay for that has less
What do you
traffic.
pay for?
presumably.
Where it has less
Yeah.
traffic.
Yeah.
So she goes on this, and then they send her a bill,
Mhm.
and the bill is even higher because she has a U.S. plate.
Mhm.
Wow.
So she's saying her argument is fine, but she didn't know this. So
Mhm.
she was able to get her money back,
Oh, okay, nice.
but they
Yeah.
charged her for having a Canadian plate. So they just gave her the money back for charging her for the US plate
The
because she
extra,
had
okay.
evidence of okay, I live in
Yeah.
Canada and stuff.
Mhm.
But what was interesting about it is she's saying, why was the Canadian amount so much? That's what she's saying.
Right. Yeah.
And she's going, why the hell would I sit in that long ass traffic though? Why would
Right.
this be so expensive? This doesn't make any sense.
It's
So
private.
why would they charge
Mhm.
if construction is constantly going, Joe? Why don't they lower the rate of 407?
Because it's
Exactly.
private.
Or well, yeah, so it's privatized, but I think it's intentionally it exists the same reason that Fast Pass at Canada's Wonderland exists
But yet
because
you're at the fast pass and the line is just as long.
and it'll still be long. Now, yeah, nowadays that's what's happened. Yeah. So the idea is that poor people wait in line and rich people get the VIP access and they get to go further. So you pay for quality of life. So poor people get shittier lives basically, where it's like if you're not paying, then you get less quality of life. But like in the 407, there never seems to be bad traffic. It's perfect
Mhm.
roads. And obviously
Never.
that could be in part because less people are driving on it, but like, nah, it's definitely because it's fine. And the other roads would be fine too if they just did a good job, but they keep like
Yeah.
intentionally doing it wrong.
Like Uber, when I used to drive Uber would give
Yeah.
me the option always to take that 407,
Oh, no kidding.
right?
Yeah.
And it would take it out of my pay.
What? Oh my God. Wow. What a bunch
Yeah,
of
so
douches.
the charge would come to my car still. So I would get it in the mail and it
Yeah.
would say
Yeah.
you
It scans
drove
your
from here to
license plate.
Toronto, back and forth. Yeah. So
Mhm.
I'm still getting charged. So why
Yeah.
it doesn't it seems almost like like someone that's wealthy is
setup.
even saying someone that's wealthy is saying, why the hell am I paying that amount
Yeah.
for to go on a private road? But then it's almost like she's saying that it's almost like she's forced to do that because she may have the money to pay for it, but it's almost like it's
It
impossible
shouldn't be
because she doesn't want to
impossible to
wait
be on
in.
the road. Yeah.
She shouldn't
Yeah.
have to wait in traffic for like an hour just to
Well,
get
I
from
would say
point
more
A
than
to
that.
point A
Yeah.
to point B,
Yeah.
right? Because it's honestly like insanity to sit in traffic for 2 hours just to get to and from home.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
one way. That's one way.
Yeah, a nicer, more ethical business model would be like a monthly subscription or something. But even then,
Yes.
that would negate the purpose because then more people would take it, and then it
Yeah.
would have more
Yeah.
traffic and slow down. So it really is just a like wipe the boot heels on the poor kind of a situation. Like it's intentionally made just for rich people, and it's
Yeah.
fucked,
Or
and it's just not
people
good.
who are like desperate. Like I was late for work once because of traffic. Like I gave myself plenty of time, but it was one of those days where like you're trying to
There
get
were a
into
million
Toronto.
crashes or something.
Yeah, and it's just like, all right, I've got no I've got no other choice. I'm taking the 407, and then
Yeah.
it's amazing. It's like you're like, wow,
Yeah.
this is so cool. There's no one on it. Like
$20
it's
charge.
smooth, it's perfect.
Right. Yeah.
But then yeah, you get like a $50-$60 charge afterwards. But yeah,
It's
it was
not.
a nice feeling at the
Doesn't make any
time
sense.
to
To
kind
me,
of
like,
wave at all the people in traffic. It's like, ha.
Right. Oh my God. Yeah.
But like you mentioned, if everybody else was able to pay for it, it would just be as busy. But
Yeah,
would it be just as busy?
but then
Because
it's
would it dissipate both lanes and
Yes,
then
that's
actually
the part
free it
I'm
up?
trying to explain.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't it free? Like, the part I don't like about it is like, get this. So you
Mm.
mentioned Canada's Wonderland. My dad, for instance, his
Yeah.
business gives us free tickets every single year. So I go every single year just because they're free. Then
Yeah.
the Fast Pass comes out. So the Fast
Yeah.
Pass comes out now, and it's like, all right, who cares about the Fast Pass? Like, it's not really, we're not
Sure.
waiting that long. Now
Yeah.
Canada's Wonderland's popping. There's Fast Passes
Yes.
because they had this thing. It wasn't as popping until they got this like ride. It was called, I don't know, like the Behemoth or something.
Well, it started
Once
with the
this,
Behemoth, yeah, and then
yeah, once this
Leviathan, and
ride
now
came, that's like when the Fast
Yukon.
Passes came. So it was like you didn't
Yeah.
really need. It was like you wait in line, and it's like it's fine. Wait in line, cool. Fast Passes come. It's like there's no really need to get a Fast Pass because it's like the line isn't that long. Even though the lines are long, whatever. Besides the point. Now that the fast passes are available, lines are long. We get the tickets free. Let's get fast passes then to see how it works.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We go. Literally, you can go like straight. Like at first, like maybe for the first 3-4 years, you can just go straight. Like I'm like going literally for the first 3 or 4
singing,
years.
dancing the whole way through. Yeah.
Before Corona, like literally, I went like maybe 2 years ago without a fast pass.
Yeah.
You must be out of your mind if I'm going without a fast pass. So I'm just standing in the
Because
sun
it's
for
not
6
worth it
hours.
because you'll be in a line
the
for
fuck
2
is
hours
this?
and then you have to go home.
Then
yeah.
now they want people to pay regular price and then pay for a fast pass. And then now I'm paying for the fast pass and I'm waiting in line as long as I was waiting 4 years ago before the fast passes.
Yeah,
So
and also there's a new thing called the super fast pass. I don't know if you know about that.
Huh?
There's an extra. It's not super fast pass, but it's called like the premium fast pass.
Do you see?
Yeah, so there's a second one you can get.
So it's
and
always a
even
money
faster.
situation.
Yeah.
How does that make you even faster?
There's
There's a
take
third
like
line.
an
They
extra
make an extra
style?
section just for you to
Yeah.
go. Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, why wouldn't they put a cap on the amount of people that are able to?
They should.
You know what
they
I
should.
mean? It's like
Yeah.
there should be some sort of like an adjustment where like, okay, there's 5 million people living in the city. At a certain amount of time, there's going to be a huge number of people going
Influx.
onto one system.
Mm.
Why, from this certain amount of time, are certain roads and things like this not available more to people that are at work for 9 hours?
Yeah. So I'll
Like,
also
come
add this.
on.
So
Like, even
so
like one day, Friday. Damn.
Yeah. So it's not only that you have to pay for the premium access to go a little bit faster, so you're not in a living hell, but now that's also becoming just the regular, and like it's also clogging up. The whole world, and Canada included, is urbanizing. At the very least, Southern Ontario, right? Cities are building up, the population is growing, and this is inevitable because human beings, our quality of life is getting better. So people are just having more kids. So the whole world is getting more and more people than it ever used to. And everybody's seen these stats. We've known this since like the year 2000. The population is rising like at an exponential rate. And the one thing that isn't changing are roads. The highway was built in like the 1970s or 80s, and it hasn't changed since. It hasn't grown with the population. That's why it keeps getting worse and worse. Back in the day, they would say, oh, 5 p.m. traffic is the worst traffic. Like, make sure to try to get on the QEW or find a way to, like, get home before that or, like, take side roads back because that's when it'll be busy. But now it's not 5 p.m. traffic. It's, I think it starts at, like, 2 p.m. now. So from 2 p.m.
2:30.
until 6 p.m., it's the, like, gridlock traffic the whole time.
Swear?
Because now
On
you've also
Sundays,
got
Monday to
like
Friday.
high schools finish at like 2:30, 3 p.m.
Yeah.
And now
yeah.
all your high school kids, they have cars as well.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
even more people with cars now than there used to be as well. And yeah.
It's rough. Yeah.
With
and
this
like
Corona stuff, I don't leave my house from like, even if I can, like I will not leave my house from those points of time. Just not even going on the highway. Just in general, the streets are just too busy for me. It's too much.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And this
It's
is
not-
during a lockdown, by the way. Just saying. We're
Well,
in
it's-
lockdown, guys. Don't forget, we're in lockdown.
It started where there wasn't a lot of traffic, and everyone's making those memes about dolphins are finally coming back to the Italian Riviera, and the world is the world is healing finally because everyone's staying indoors.
Yeah.
And then that's over now. Now we're back to doing our shitty thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, people are on the roads just
Dolphins
like
are in the-
yeah, that was the thing. There's so many things where they're saying that where they're like the world
I
is
love
healing, and they're showing all these places where it used to be like all gray and shitty, and now it's like beautiful and green and
We
lush.
have
And
Trump for 4 years, and it's like,
that's everything's going downhill, and then now it's coming back. And,
sorry,
yeah.
I can't blame it all on Trump, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, he's a good he's not the problem, he's the symptom, but that's the point of being the president is you're the one that everyone gets to point to. So yeah, that's the fun is we all get to point at Trump. So yeah. I guess that'd be a fun way to finish it. So Derron, you and I have talked about how Biden won and how even though like this will be coming out before he actually gets sworn into office, but Trump's trying his hardest to stay in office. And so now for the group, I got to ask, what is the likelihood of him trying to enact a civil war or some kind of coup
gosh.
where he just doesn't leave? Like he actually
I'll
is
leave that
like,
one
no,
to
like,
you.
I have enough Nazis
I'll
behind me
leave that to Aidan.
that'll hold me up.
I'm out.
Yeah, I'm gone.
He's just like we said this from day one. Back in 2016, people were saying like, oh, he'll never relinquish his power. Like he'll never.
Oh right, yeah.
You know, and everyone's like, oh yeah, that won't never. And then it comes to 2020, he loses, and what does he do? He refuses to accept defeat.
Yeah.
It's,
And he's
it's
taking
all
it
a
to the
scam.
Supreme.
It's fake.
It's fake. He's still tweeting like today. I think was it 2 days ago when like the Supreme Court or whoever it was like there was no false votes
Yeah,
they
Actually,
said
that
he's
might have
got no
been
the
grounds, and
Supreme
then
Court that
today
has
he's
majority
still
Republican, like his
Yeah, it
team
was
is
2
like,
days ago.
sorry, but there's no fucking fraud, dude. And he's
Yeah.
just like,
It's
wrong.
100%
and he's still
legit.
tweeting every day on Twitter, all caps. It's I won. It's all fake. I won.
Literally
Yeah,
scraping anything that he can like.
Yeah.
yeah,
And then all his like brainwashed followers are showing up
yeah.
and doing these rallies, which apparently it was the headline was like millions of Trump supporters showed up, but really it was like 1,000.
Yeah, it was the fringe. Yeah,
It wasn't that many.
yeah, that makes sense.
It sucks that they're still kind of out there rallying though, which is
Yeah,
kinda
and none of
sad.
them are wearing masks. Just saying.
How some of them make it like a conspiracy and
yeah.
all this, and like
Yeah.
I hate to say that, like
Yo,
you know
you
what
want
I
to talk about conspiracy theories? What if it's a conspiracy that like these anti-maskers they intentionally like they know coronavirus is real and that it'll kill people and they're trying to get people in on this anti-mask thing for population control to kill all the stupid people because only stupid people would believe in anti-mask.
Wait.
So
Wait.
okay, let me say it
So-
cleaner. So Trump supporters and people who are anti-mask are one and
Yeah.
the same, right? There's not a lot of
Uh-huh.
Democrats that are anti-mask.
Yeah.
So if all these anti-maskers, what if the people who originally created this conspiracy, because it wasn't Trump specifically, like he endorsed it, but it's like people online who started the anti-mask, what if their intention is that they don't believe in this conspiracy, but they know other people will who are Trump supporters, so they spread it as like a population control to kill all the stupid people.
Yeah.
that's
That
what I'm
could be
that's what I'm
legitimate.
thinking.
That could be a
Thinking something
legitimate
like that.
conspiracy theory. Yeah. One
Because
that
I
the
just don't
conspiracy
understand
theorists won't
why
believe in.
people would
Yeah.
like. It seems like
fucking
they
swallow
want to
the
kill
fact.
off people. It seems
Yeah,
like they want
it
to kill
does.
off
It
people.
literally
That's
does.
the way it seems to
They're
me.
like, it's just a flu. Like even people who won't say it's not real, they're like, it's real, but who gives a shit? Well, like, let's
But
just be
like that
anti-mask
was the
anyway.
president though, Joe. That was the president saying that
Yeah.
type of shit. So
Yeah.
it's like that's where I can understand where like you're looking at it and all these thumbs down, but then
Yeah.
they have everything opened. It
Yeah,
doesn't make any sense to me. It's like
Yeah.
it's
it's very
people are
hypocritical
dying
to their
though. Like,
message.
people are
Yeah.
dying.
Yeah.
Why are we letting people die?
What really
but
bugs
we're
me, like
supporting
early
businesses to
on-
stay open. Who cares? People are
Yeah.
dying. Sorry,
what,
Aidan. Go
what
ahead.
really
I
bugs me
apologize.
early on, because obviously D, you were following the story from like November last year when it first hit China. You were on it
I was
straight
on
away,
it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all.
Darren, you
and
were
then
here.
it finally got to Canada in like December, January time, right, where people started being like, okay, there's been a couple of cases, but we're still not really going to take it that seriously yet.
Aidan and I were like
Yeah.
going grocery shopping, everything, making lists. All
Yeah.
this.
Preparing
we
for
were
it.
panicking.
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
like, we need to buy like we need to buy
Toilet
oil and
paper.
batteries
I knew
and candles
prior.
and like
yeah.
But it really annoyed me when it started then to get into like February sort of time when no it's serious, and a lot of people's defense was like, oh, the flu kills more people in a year than COVID does.
Then COVID so far, yeah. It's
But I'm like, but it's only a month into the year. How can you say the flu kills more people in a year when it hasn't been a year yet? Like,
yeah, we don't have the
this
facts.
is a
How
new
can you
virus. It's
already
new.
know
It's just
that?
come about.
Yeah.
How can you say like, the flu kills more people?
Yeah.
It's so
yeah.
annoying.
Right now they're saying that the only reason why those people are saying the only reason why the COVID numbers are spiking is because when people die of the flu, they're just checking off COVID.
Oh my god, yeah. Like, bro, like
Like what?
people aren't as irresponsible as
Like,
like
What? No.
the rest of what people
Why
think.
wouldn't they
Yeah.
just die from the flu? Why would they like?
Yeah.
This is the part
Yeah.
I don't like. I don't know. It's
Well,
just,
no.
it's-
So the people who think that people are doing that, it's like you're talking about every single doctor and every single nurse across every single hospital district, red states, blue states, like
Yeah.
they're all in on the conspiracy
They're
and
all
not
in on
one
it. This is
nurse
why I
or
hate
doctor
conspiracy
speaking out
theories.
against it.
they're
Yeah.
all in on
They
it.
never
People
make
aren't that
sense.
organized. People are
Doesn't
not
make
that
sense.
organized, bro. Like we all have self-interest. Like
Yeah,
you
like
can't organize a conspiracy like that. It's
there's
impossible.
no like one world order because like America hates
You'd
Russia
be in on it.
and America
Yeah.
hates China and China hates Japan, but Japan likes Korea and Korea likes America, and like there's no
There's no ending.
they can't all be in on it.
Yeah, if they're this disorganized and
There's
this
no
close to
ending.
like constantly bombing each other.
Remember I was
Oh.
telling you about Aidan, I was telling you about the guy asking like Trump supporters basic questions and there's no like explanation on how they think on their
Mhm.
answers at all. It's just
Right. Yeah. There's no
blatancy,
cohesion
just
with what they think.
ignorance.
Yeah.
It's just ignorance at its finest.
Yeah.
And that's where, for me, someone that, like I said, I know about this prior. Like, no, like, you know what I mean?
You
I'm
knew
not
from the
someone that
beginning.
I'm following every single rule to a T, but yet
Mhm.
they're telling me numbers are rising and to go out and support businesses. No, you as a country should be supporting those businesses for closing down.
Right.
Close
Yeah. Have a
down.
follow
Mhm.
system. Yeah.
Why am I going out and sacrificing my life to go and support them? And then I'm going in the store. I'm going in there, and this place is full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
You know-
This doesn't make any sense.
And all the toilet
am I
paper's
getting
gone.
something in here? Am I catching
Yeah.
something? I just want to pick up my food to go home because that was what I was instructed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
supporting and I'm going home, yet everybody's sitting here.
Yeah. It's nuts.
It's sucky. It's sucky. It doesn't make any sense. And
Mhm.
I'm going and I'm sanitizing up a storm and I'm staying home as much as I can.
Yeah. It's
I mean,
it's unfair
and
to say
again,
the
I'm by
least.
myself, so it's a little hard. Yeah,
You know
it's just
what?
unfair. It's
Okay,
unfair, but
so
it's
so you
what
know the term essential workers, where it's like, no,
Mhm.
we won't give you a raise. We'll just salute you and call you an essential. Thank you for doing your duty at minimum wage and
or put
potentially not.
but
or
not
putting your
all
family
heroes
at
wear
risk.
capes by the self checkouts.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, okay, we'll just call them essential workers instead of actually giving them a raise. We should be calling all the customers essential customers. It's like, we
Yeah.
need you to consume.
Yes,
Thank
that's
you,
what it should
essential
say.
customers,
I don't
Yeah.
for
understand.
not giving a shit about your health and consuming. Please
Yeah.
come to Walmart every day,
Please
even though you
come
don't
to
need to.
Walmart. Please come
Yeah.
to Michael's.
Come, hang
Michael's.
out, sit down, relax. You know,
For the
yeah,
greater
take your
good.
mask off. Yeah.
Like, it's just
Yeah.
craziness. I went to Best Buy and I got a TV.
No, whoa, what'd you get?
Well, not a TV. Like, I got a screen.
What are the
My
stats on it? How many inches?
24, I think, or 20. Yeah,
Okay,
24.
nice. That's not bad. Are you adding it as like part of like a 3 monitor system or what?
Yeah. So what's quite interesting is like when you guys were watching my screen, I can
Yeah.
still see you guys on my other screen. So it's nice to have multiple screens, right?
Yo, that's
And
cool.
then
That is
the screen
cool.
that I do have is like it's a pretty good screen. Like both
Yeah.
screens are great, but the laptop I got a new laptop too. And this is the
Right.
thing. Like I was so like certain things where I'm like I don't want to go. I go at specific times. Like I go early in the morning.
Yeah.
So that I'm not around a lot of people. I'm in and I'm out within less than 30 minutes. I'm in and I'm out. I do my research prior, so I know exactly, and that's it. But
Yeah. I think that's a key thing is doing
that's the
research
furthest
before
it goes for me.
shopping,
Like the
'cause
dollar
I've started
store.
doing that too.
The dollar
Yeah,
store.
yeah, yeah.
Store a couple
Yeah.
times just because I need some things for my house, some candles, just to keep me cozy inside, and
Yeah.
that's the farthest it goes. But
Yeah.
And it helps if you go to stores that you're familiar with, and then you know
Yeah.
exactly which
That way
aisle
you know
this stuff's on,
yeah,
and you're not spending hours going up and down. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Like this is for my work. I use this for my work. It's like it helps me
necessary.
generate money. It's necessary, and that's that. But I haven't stepped inside of a mall. I haven't stepped in any like type of
Mm.
like I haven't stepped inside of like a department store or like anything like that. You know what I mean? It's like just
Yeah.
Yeah.
in
Can you
and-
imagine
Like people
like
who do that just
in and out.
peruse casually and I
yeah,
don't know
like
which
can you
store I'm gonna
imagine
go to today.
Linebridge right now? Everyone doing Christmas shopping at Linebridge.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god.
Most of those stores were already tight anyway. Like is it
They're
Hot
already-
Topic
they're
or
still
one of
open.
those that's like
Yeah,
it
those
was
are
always
all
really
open.
crowded with like stuff already, and then
Those are all
ugh,
open.
yeah.
It's nuts.
And it's kind
will-
of true. Like, sorry to interrupt. It's kind of true though with the not all heroes wear capes because essentially, right? Like they have to go to work because it's opened. Like I know my one girlfriend, she was kind of upset that the grocery store was still open, but I'm like, girl, people need food.
Yeah.
But what I
Yeah.
think it should be is it should have been in a way where there's like a rotation of like workers. So they only like I work for say a week and then I have 2 weeks off. So there's a rotation of constantly
that could
being
work.
in quarantine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to
Yeah.
work every single day like it's I'm going to work for one or whatever amount of days that like, you know, with research you can do it where it's like, okay, they can be exposed for 4 or 5 days. That 4 or 5 days they're exposed. Now they have to be quarantined for 14 days. Then they go back.
Yeah, exactly. Without having
Where
the risk.
everybody's on a
Yes, yeah.
rotation of like there's only a certain amount of people per work. You're going in the store in like Fortinos and every single section is open. Like no, there shouldn't be a hot food section. There shouldn't be a bakery section. There shouldn't be a
No, there
salad
should not
section.
be that stuff. Yeah.
All that stuff should be closed. Like it should just
Yeah.
be they should be getting paid some sort of wage where they can support
have off
us
days.
for a certain amount of time where everything now can be opened back up, which they didn't do. Which they
Mm.
did
Yeah.
do for a little bit.
Yeah, I was about to say that would be proactive planning. So no, they did not do that, unfortunately. Yeah, that would take some foresight, which they're
Yeah.
yeah. The key word today, the fun word for today, folks, is reactionary. Yeah.
Foresight.
Yeah, exactly.
But what I
For-
find
yeah.
interesting about foresight is
Mm.
how is it as people in the Hunger Games can see the foresight, but the people above don't see the foresight,
They
right?
just need the money.
Yeah. They're like,
That's
we
the
got it,
part I
baby.
don't
We're
get.
good. And then yeah.
Like
Yeah.
And the
stay in your
people come.
homes, but like send your kids out to go in schools for 30 kids in it.
Mhm.
But stay in your house.
Yeah.
Have Thanksgiving over like but then go and support
Yeah,
rest-
have Thanksgiving over Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Yeah.
then if like Lime Ridge Mall said, "Oh, we're struggling to pay rent," then they'd be like, "Oh, everyone needs
I'll
to go
go
shop at
support.
Lime Ridge Mall and support
Yeah.
the mall."
Yeah. It's a weird, tug and pull of like, be safe, but then also don't be safe and give money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird,
What was it called in
system.
England, Aidan? What was it called in England? There's a name for it that you remember you telling me about, and I was like, it's to support like restaurants or something. It was, like,
They called
catchy.
it. So they. So this
It's like a gimmick.
was. I think it was over like June and July, maybe, or July and to August. It's like 2 or 3 weeks they did it. They called it "Eat Out to Help Out."
Eat out to help out, bro.
Yeah,
They
so
couldn't
it was
see
like-
During
how
a quarantine. During quarantine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
but
was
the
like
term
classic,
"eat out
like,
to help out."
like
Come on,
propaganda kind of thing, where it's like you'll help your country and you'll go out and you will support the
England did
restaurants
that, like,
by
Eat out
eating
to
them.
help out.
yeah.
And then in October they announced the stats and they went, "Oh, look, there was a spike when we were doing that. How interesting."
So how is that not foreshadowed that there would be a like no, it's like
Yeah,
what?
no, they
Doesn't
probably
make any
knew.
sense. And it
Yeah,
does
yeah.
to me
They
what
were
makes me
thinking of
mad
the
is
economy.
they have the money. So what I don't get is like situations like come on Darren, pull up something. Jeff, the guy from Amazon.
Uh-huh.
Right, Bezos.
How's this guy from Amazon gonna say
Become the first trillionaire in the world ever.
how he gonna say, can you guys donate to help
to
the
what?
workers of look it up.
Oh, bro, he's asking people to donate to help the
He's
workers.
asking us to donate.
He's
Because
the
I work with
first
Amazon.
trillionaire. Oh,
I
my
work with Amazon. So
God.
asking us
Oh,
to
my-
donate.
Mhm.
Donate because people are working and but we all know the metrics. This guy's has endless
You can
amounts
pay
of money.
everyone more, $1
Yeah.
more.
So why are we all not coming? Like, I don't get that,
That's insane.
right?
Bro,
But yet
I don't
people are
know.
supports. People will support. People send because they're saying we're helping our people. But shouldn't
You are,
Why
but the
do I even
reason
have to
that they're
say
in
it?
trouble in the first place is because of Bezos.
Yeah.
God, yeah, that guy's a dictator in his own right. He's the Putin
Yeah,
of
definitely.
capitalism.
Yeah.
Guy's fucked. Oh my
But
god.
we all buy from him.
Yeah, because there's no other. Yeah, there's no other choice. It's the
we
quality
kinda
of life
have
thing,
to,
right?
'cause of- yeah.
For safety
we're
reasons. Like I'm not gonna risk going out. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But
That's,
yet he wants us to donate, even though we're the ones supporting him.
Yeah.
We need to help the employees of Amazon collect together because he's tried very hard to keep them away from unions. If we can get them to make a union, right? It's like a secret underground coup. We got to get the workers to make a union, and once they're unionized, then they'll actually have rights. Because so far he's successfully kept it away because there's propaganda, like training videos that were leaked 1 or 2 years ago, where in the training videos they say, if you hear a coworker talk about trying to start a group or come together or something that isn't just drinking, make sure to tell your superiors immediately because that is highly discouraged, grouping together employees.
Wow.
And it's
He
like,
needs
what the
Katniss
fuck,
in there.
bro? Yeah, he needs Katniss to unionize the people. That way they can start having human rights.
Wow.
Oh my god, it's insane.
That's like some like
That's some
World War II
dystopian shit.
propaganda, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
like, if you
literally.
hear
Yeah,
someone,
literally.
you know, talking about the Allies, you better.
Yeah. You stop them now. Report
You
them
better
into the
tell the
Nazis, and
Gestapo.
they'll take them out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Wow.
Insane.
I want to talk about Aiden's topic. What's Aiden's topic?
Oh, I was just gonna shout out a new TV show that I binge watched this weekend. We can end on a high.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Or
Yeah,
on something not depressing and sad.
Yeah. End on a hopeful note.
It's a new. They call it a sketch show, but it's not. It's semi-sketch show. It's like there's a narrative, and it's just these three characters in a house. But it's so surreal, this type of comedy, I don't know, like I've never seen anything like it. It's a little bit Monty Python, but it's very surreal and very like fourth wall breaking.
Mhm.
And these characters, they get into weird situations, and I think that's why they can call it a sketch, because like they'll go off on little tangents, something weird will happen, but it's still always the same three characters in the same house throughout. It's called Auntie Donna's Big Old House of Fun.
Oh, I've seen. I saw the promotion for that. I haven't watched it yet, but yeah.
If you like surreal, just like crazy mental comedy, that's just like you're just watching it like what is happening. Like this, just like jokes go on for like 10 minutes sometimes. Like they're just, when a joke goes on too far and you're like, this isn't funny anymore. But they'll go on too far to the point where it's now funny again because it's gone on like too long.
Yeah.
Cool.
And yeah, like you can see it says full song there. There's a lot of musical elements to it as well, like musical jokes and stuff.
Nice.
Very surreal, very bizarre, but just refreshing. Like with everything that's going on,
something
it's
to
just
get
nice
you through the second lockdown.
Yeah,
nice.
And there's only 6 episodes, and they're like 20 minutes each.
Oh wow, yeah. So that is like really quick snippets. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy to binge over a weekend, but it was nice and refreshing and very weird.
Well, wait. So can I ask? Is there any way to not spoil it, but explain to us who Auntie Donna is? Because
no idea.
No idea.
That's
okay,
wow. That's like
yeah.
their collective name.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So I didn't do much research into them, but I believe they started off on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And that was
so
kind
like
of
here,
their like
looks like
comedy
here.
troupe name.
Yeah.
Looks like full sketch, and they're like
that tour with the cast. Nice.
Oh,
one
yeah,
guy does
Ed
look
Helms
familiar though.
From
that
Hangover.
guy,
There's quite a few. There's a couple of cameos in it. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So it's just like see, for instance, that's what good marketing is.
Yeah. Oh my God. Just that.
You have to go.
Picture,
Where's
that
Auntie Donna? And it's like she doesn't exist.
She's not even a person. It's just these 3 guys. Yeah.
Nice. Big old house. Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
so
great.
I'm
That's
recommending that
acting.
if you need a little pick me up or anything at any point. Check that
that's
out.
awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you. Definitely check that out for sure. Love it. Awesome, guys. Can't go wrong.
No. Yeah, that's a great way to end it. I love it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I mean,
Right,
I'm
thanks,
not
guys.
doing much in space, so I could definitely do with some TV show or movies out here, right? There's not a lot of people to talk to. I took the social distancing a little too seriously.
Yeah.
I just launched myself as far away as possible. Yeah.
It's all good though. You're allowed. Why not?
Yeah, I can still reach you guys, so that's good. Yeah.
Because like we're supposed to be in quarantine. Like that's what we're.
Yeah. It's surprising you've got a really strong internet signal up there.
I know. I can't explain it. It's fine. Is this still 2020?
Well, you are the internet, right? The internet's in space, right? That's how the internet works, right? It goes up.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yep.
Comes back down. Yeah, I'm sitting on the satellite.
That's how that
so I'm
works.
just beaming right to you. Yeah. Gorgeous. All right. Well,
All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Here, I'm gonna put this screen on.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys see this screen?
Well, so for what? Oh my God, that's gorgeous. I love it.
Watching.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Yo, wait. Okay, so we should also say to the audience who's just listening, because we will upload this as a podcast. Thanks for listening. And if you are curious, we will be uploading these as videos on YouTube as well, on its own channel. Like as soon as we put this up, it'll become a more regular thing. So yeah, to all the viewers, thank you so much for coming. To all the listeners, thanks for being here, and we hope to see you guys in the future.
Yeah.
Really appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having
It's
me
gonna
as a guest.
We're gonna try to.
Thanks for being.
Joe, we're gonna do an upload every week, right?
Yeah. That's the mission
every
statement.
week.
That's what we'll hold on to. Yeah.
I know you're a hardworking man, but
Yeah.
we're gonna definitely make sure we
I
get
like
out
to.
an episode every week for you guys because we really want to make sure. Honestly, during this time, it's like we're going into a second lockdown, so basically we want to have content that we can.
Yeah.
Pardon me, feel like part of something. I know that when I go, again, like I said, I'm by myself, so I know that right now for me, the computer and internet is my best friend. Could you imagine not having internet right now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, dude. Well, it's like if you, even if it was a library of books, you'd still go stir crazy. So the internet.
That's what I'm saying. It's like there's only so many books that
Yeah.
you can really like focus. And like sometimes books is you gotta be like in the mode to like. But if
Yeah.
man, imagine no internet. So thank you guys for being able to listen.
to reach us.
Yeah.
And no matter where we are, in space, on the ground, in England, anywhere. Yeah, thanks so much for being here. Yeah.
All right, take it easy, guys.
Yeah, see ya.
Bye.
Bye bye.